The dawn of civilization. Primitive. Dangerous. Exciting. The handwriting is on the wall. If the human race is ever going to amount to anything, it needs
the most civilized caveman I have ever seen.
Look who's come out of his cave.
Hey everyone, this is James from Cave Dweller Music. I have my co-host Brendan with me. Today we are joined by the guys from VRSA, a stoner sludge band from Meriden, United States in New Haven. Thanks so much for joining us and welcome to the show. Really appreciate you guys taking the time to come on.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, man.
No worries. Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know you guys, do you want to just maybe tell people who you are, what you play, and a little bit about the band?
All right, yeah. I'm Josh. I sing and play guitar.
That's it. All right. Yeah, I'm Matt. I play bass.
Yeah, and I'm Andrius. I play the second guitar. You know, I'd like to say lead, I guess, but I do some of the rhythm as well. So.
Yeah,
Nice.
and Walt's not here right now. Our drummer couldn't make it tonight.
No
Okay.
worries.
Fairly simple
He's
job.
the drummer.
Right?
Yeah.
Hit things.
He's probably playing in another band somewhere else.
Yeah,
Most drummers do.
They all do that, yeah.
still in 3 bands.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So-
we started as a band in 2007.
Nice.
Lots of different lineups, but me and Josh have been kind of the core over the years. And now we've been with this group of guys, with Matt here and with Walt as the drummer, for 3 years now, coming on.
Something like that. Yeah.
So we've got a nice momentum going, I would say. And looking forward to playing a bunch of shows this summer and on, you know.
Nice.
Nice.
How did
Nice.
you guys become a band?
So basically it was me, Josh, and a friend of mine. And we were the initial, members or whatever. We were just kind of hanging out in the woods one day trying to come up with band names. And I think he said like vice versa or something like that. And then I was like, what about VRSA? Because I had just learned about the staph infection. So VRSA, VRSA, is a acronym for a staph infection that's grown.
I was like, can Josh
immune-
do biology? Is he gonna pull out some words for us here? Apparently not.
It's pretty tough. Yeah, it's a staph infection that's grown immune to antibiotics.
Okay. Can't kill it.
Can't kill it, and it'll probably kill you if you get it.
And then I was in another band, and we were practicing the same space, and my band fell apart, and I was like, oh shit, like I got to do something. And I took basically their first. It wasn't even a demo that you guys had. You had like 3 recordings of 3 songs. And I just went home and I added my guitar lines on top of whatever they had, like a bunch of solos, a bunch of rhythm stuff. And I just
Nice.
back and like I knew Josh a little bit, but not like on a personal level.
Yeah.
I just knew him as like some local musician, you know.
I got the tape and I was like, well, holy shit, I need this guy.
Hell yeah.
You're in a
Awesome.
band. So
Yeah, that's pretty much the start.
Nice.
And
What were
the
you
rest
guys like? What influenced you like to start it all off?
Well, for me personally, I just kind of was getting sick of just like the typical metal scene, death metal, whatever kind of stuff. And I just kind of, I don't know, at the time I was like feeling like an old man or whatever, getting into stoner rock and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
then, I don't know. But as we started doing what was coming out naturally, it just kind of progressed to get more and more heavy. Because if you listen to our first album to what we're doing now, it's just kind of gotten more heavy and more of the metal has been coming back out of me,
yeah,
Yeah.
Old Man Gray you guys mentioned, that's our first album. That's like sounds to me kind of completely different band by now, you know. But
It's a little more snow.
Yeah. You guys got real heavy. Phantom of an Era was one of my favorites. I was listening and I was like, dude, this is awesome. Like, some good Neurosis vibes.
Yeah. Me and Andrius do have a lot of like Neurosis, ISIS kind of inspiration.
Yeah, it's good. It's really nice. It's I hear what you're saying about like, you're like, oh, this crazy death metal and this and that. Like,
But
going around and trying to like break out of that, and some like froggy kind of sludge is like, I don't know, it's fucking cool.
yeah, and that's not to say that I don't like death metal. I still like death metal.
Oh, of course, right?
Just as my own creative, like as my own inner artist, I needed to like break out from just what else I've been seeing out there, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the new one, hopefully the new album will be even a more progressed sound for us as a band, like especially with the newer lineup. Every band member that joins gives like a new twist to the sound, and then as the years go by, that's kind of
Yeah, that's probably what's changed us over the years so much is just the injection of new people.
Yeah.
I was saying to Brendan actually before the podcast that the latest EP you did, the Cult of Machina, is actually my favorite of all your stuff, because I really like the new direction that you guys have gone in with that one, like that new sound that you've worked into.
Cool. Yeah, thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, it's heavy.
It's got some atmosphere. Like, it's also like it's like a great mix of like heavy, some technicality, like some great atmosphere. It's like a good blend of the three, so you get some diversity on each track, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what we like too.
It kind of like reminded me of Neurosis in that style, in that sense, because they were great at always combining those elements together on all their albums.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I think, to me personally, I think for most of the band, also it's dynamics are very important, right? Like quiet, you build up certain parts, then it ebbs and flows, kind of like a wave, and then like it explodes with like a big riff or something like that. Like I like that. Like so writing stuff like that, I think that's where the Neurosis thing comes in, because they have like a lot of like slow parts where they just move for like a minute, and then all of a sudden like a boom explosion of sound.
Exactly. It's like that post metal stuff influence.
It's powerful.
Yeah. We were saying on another episode we did with someone about like dissonant death metal, like how the bands that we prefer in that genre. I mean, I love the dissonance, but I like it when a band kind of gives you a breather between those like super oppressive segments, where it's not just constantly hammering you from start to finish, because it makes you appreciate the heaviness when you have like the softer side of it as well.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and with the dissonance, what I found
Composition.
You said your magic word, Andrius.
to
Dissonance.
me, listen, to me, it was always not like a theory, but like I guess a theory, whatever that I have, is that like with dissonance, when it finally resolves itself and it goes into some either a nice melody or the right kind of chord that hits it just the right way, that extra dissonance before that really makes it that much better. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I agree. You need,
I agree, because like when you said if it's all dissonance, then yeah, it gets old after a while.
it does. You feel like you feel like drained, like worn down by like, oh man, I need a break from this.
Yeah, it needs to resolve itself at some point.
Exactly.
Right.
I think like the ability to actually like weave those like sort of influences into the song kind of shows more strength as a songwriter, in my opinion, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like, you're playing that guitar, man. Make that freaking thing melt my face.
Yeah,
That's the plan.
Hell yeah.
So
how long is the new album gonna be?
we got 6 tracks. I don't know exactly the minute length.
We know the longest one is over 9 minutes, so
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Really close to
That's my style.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
roughly more like 50 minutes or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Long songs.
yeah, around
I
50.
think the shortest song is like 5.5, 6 minutes. So
Yeah,
nice. I like that.
upwards to 9 minutes is the
9
longest
9
song.
minutes.
Yeah.
The epic.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we set out to write an epic song, and
Yeah. At
That's-
the last Doom Fest.
I think that's what we did.
We were at the last Doom Fest. We were like, we need an epic.
is it going to be sort of in the same style as that last EP, like that sort of sound as well? Or is it going to be developed further than that, like something different to that?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a cross between Phantom of an Era and Cult of Machina. So our last two cross between those two, I guess,
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I like that.
Yeah, the
So-
audience will be the judge, right? Like we, but I think we're all like 100% behind the cell. Everyone just
Nice.
loves, so
It's
Have
taken
you
a while
have you
because,
guys settled on a name for the album? Or is that top secret?
I I don't know. Is it top secret?
Well, do we have a name, and then we can
Yeah,
decide
right.
if it's top
You
secret?
know
No,
what Josh wants? to
Yeah, I
call.
have an idea for it, but I don't know if we've all really settled on it. So maybe we don't say right now.
Yeah,
All right.
we still haven't decided. I guess.
Right.
Gotcha. Do you guys have an artist lined up for your cover and stuff?
Yes, we do. A guy that actually we know from the same building that we practice in does visual art, and it's like I can't really. I mean, it's like a mix between like pencil and ink stuff, and then it's also like watercolor stuff, and then
Yeah.
it's just kind of trippy shit. So we're into that.
What's the artist's name?
Michael. I can't remember his last
Well,
name.
he's looking it up.
Yeah.
We definitely though decided that we're not using any of those AI generators, even though some of those look cool. Like I don't know, it just something's off with the.
I did a ton of them just for ideas. You know?
Yeah.
What they're really great for.
Yeah.
Just to kind of, you have an idea in your head, you throw a bunch of words and adjectives out, and it comes back, and you're like, "Wow, that looks cool." I don't want to use it, but
Yep.
it inspires you.
Yeah.
It gives you a little bit
Right.
more.
I really like the stuff that the AI shit does, but I don't want to contribute to the downfall of human
an
artists.
Like,
audition.
you could just do the same thing and just give it to a human artist, and then see what they come up with, and then like compromise like with that. Be like, no, well, maybe I was thinking more of this and that. Like.
Right.
The other thing is like you don't own the rights to that AI stuff, which is like it could become complicated at some point in the
That's
future.
another thing. Yeah, there's been lawsuits already about that stuff. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck that.
So yeah, it's Michael Miglietta.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it all kind of in-house and local.
Yeah,
it's
that's pretty
recorded
cool.
in this building.
Yeah, we recorded it
Artwork's
ourselves.
in this building.
Yep.
Our photographs will be done in this building.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
we got a
video will be
photographer
done
that's out of the same building. Yeah.
by just
Nice.
all artists in our same collective that we have here.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
want to keep it local. We all support
That's
each other.
definitely sweet. So you guys you're talking about like where you're recording now, or your studio, or
Yes. Yeah. So where we're at right now is in our studio, and that's where we're recording this album. Yeah.
Doing
Nice.
it all.
And- do you share that space with other local artists?
Not in our actual room, but yeah, this is in the bigger building. There's like a whole hallway full of like bands and photographers, artists.
Afghan Hayes is actually one of the bands
Afghan
that
Hayes.
practices.
Yeah, we know
in
you
the same
guys
building.
know Afghan Hayes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. They may have actually called us from there. Didn't they call us from a studio space?
Yeah, I think last time that I heard you guys or whatever was them down the hallway. I think I walked into the room actually.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes,
Yeah.
you did. Yeah.
Yeah. There
That's
was so
funny.
many. There was a lot going on because we had
Yeah, that's a little
Afghan
hectic.
Hayes, and we had When the Deadbolt breaks on
Yes.
at the same time, and it got a little chaotic. So I think in the
It
future
did.
we'll probably won't do two bands at the same time again.
Yeah.
But yeah. That was a fun night.
That's kind of like the environment around here. People just walking into other people's rooms all the time,
All the
and,
time.
hanging out and
Yep.
whatever.
That's awesome.
One big happy family.
Yeah. Is that are you guys gonna like do any kind of cool collaborations with all of the neighbors?
I've always wanted to, and we've all kind of like mentioned it over the years, but nothing's come, like more solidified. But we will do that. It's got to happen for
Yeah,
sure.
that definitely has to happen at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, do like a split album with or something like that too.
Yeah.
Like an Afghan VRSA.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Big band.
I have talked to John about that recently, so yeah, we definitely should do that.
Nice. Yeah, he's a good dude.
In a band, if we combine the two bands,
Yeah,
8
just
people,
The full big band.
two
Yeah.
drum kit. Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Yeah, that would be wild. That would be wild. Because you guys all do too. You're both in the similar style of like writing more like like kind of longer songs and like that's great.
They're definitely in the doomier of the two bands. I would
Yeah,
say.
for sure.
Yeah.
So I was listening to Old Man Gray before I came on. I listened to it earlier, but I listened to it again today before the podcast. And I might just be like reaching with this, but did it have like a bunch of grunge influence? I really got like some grunge vibes from that.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, that was like I was saying, like that was me trying to break out of the metal stuff that I had been doing for so long and just kind of go back to my 90s, heyday of, alternative rock and shit, So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
It's really interesting to hear like the difference between that and then like the new stuff. It's like you can see the progression between albums, but like it's just such a big progression.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true.
It's cool. I mean, it's kind of cool that you guys have such a diverse catalog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I see it as a plus, but
Yeah.
also, we still have some of those CDs left. So at the shows, when people see us now, like I'm kind of
Yeah.
like,
we're
I don't
hesitant
know
to
if I
push
want
that
to.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this the same band?
We'll expect
Right.
Matt is gonna be on the
Matt's our
merch
merch
table.
guy.
Yeah, so
It's for the collectors.
Yeah.
Right. You got to have them all. Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
I'm like,
It's
that's
so
not what we
rare.
sound though anymore, but it's still our CD.
It's rare. You can't get it anywhere.
I mean, it's not as like much of a change as bands like Ulva or like Samael. Like they went from black metal into like pop, electronic pop and stuff, and like their fan base stuck with them. They're like one of the few bands where the fan base was like, yeah, this is cool. I'm all for it.
Right.
Metal usually are the strictest fan base for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we were kind of talking about that earlier. Like James and I, like about bands kind of like changing sound. Like, do you change the name or do you just change the sound? Remember, like, I don't know if you're familiar with Caven, but they had those like first two albums that were just brutal, and then after that, it was like this like kind of like real like soft rock kind of vibe, and like you're just like, wait a minute, what? Like, it's the same band, but like I don't know, like should they change the name or like do they just do what they did and just keep going?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of am very inspired by them. Me and Andrius have been both very inspired by them over the years, and I like that they have done that. So I guess maybe that's part of what fuels us also.
It's part of growing as a band.
Yeah, right. And they did definitely get heavy again, later on. So
of course, no, they did. Their last album's amazing.
It is.
Yeah, we're about to go see them in a couple weeks
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice.
at the Space Ball.
Yes, they're playing. I think the same night I'm doing a different show.
Mhm.
Right, that's in they're playing on the 31st or.
That seems right, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to go see Earth Crisis and One King Down in Boston.
Cool.
I think it's going to be a fucking awesome night. It's going to be like my teenager years lived over again. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I listened to Earth Crisis for a little while in the 90s.
Yeah, they're doing a like a 30-year anniversary of I think it's Firestorm.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just like, oh man, and like One King Down's no slouch. So I was like, this will be great. I got to go see that.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So you're saying before the show that you're sort of looking into the whole world of marketing, PR, and stuff in music. I mean, that's a whole sort of different world to the music, like making the music itself. It's become such an important thing with social media.
Yeah.
That it's like it's 50% your music that gets you there, and 50% selling yourself.
Right. It's like the music is not even. That's just the starting point. Like that's just like the given. You have to have that, and then you have to become a content creator or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
right.
Like all these bands now, it's like making more TikToks than music.
Right.
I don't know. It's like it's. I was just gonna say it's like a double-edged sword though, because we're in an age where it's like easier than ever in history for bands to get their music out there to people, but then there's just so many people doing it that it's like oversaturated. You have to like find a way to stand out from the crowd.
The issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right.
It's so easy now. You just put it on the internet. That's such crap.
Yeah.
That's not it. Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. Still got to get out there and grind, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's like rare cases where someone blows up from like being featured on like a video or in a show or something, but that's like you can't rely on that happening to you. If you wait for that, you're never going to get anywhere.
Yeah, and the stuff we do is not totally out there as accessible kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I know like what you guys were like. We were posting on Instagram. You're like, hey, we got some new stuff coming out, this and that, and it like caught my attention, you know what I mean? And like, I don't know if it was like maybe a demographical thing or it's just like maybe you guys haven't posted in a while, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, let's just pop this into this dude's feed. But like, however it works, it's you know,
Yeah, the algorithm. The mystery
well, right. Well, reaching people, it's important to do, and it's sometimes it's odd, right? Like through Instagram or Twitter, whatever it may be, you know, or like posting on Facebook, watch my YouTube video.
You got to make
like,
sure to sacrifice the chickens before you hit post. So
yeah,
make the blood offering to the algorithm.
Exactly. Yep.
It makes absolutely no sense. Like I work in social media marketing. That's my job. And it's like, even to me, sometimes I'm like, this makes absolutely no sense. Why? Like this post absolutely blew up and this post was terrible. Like this one should have done great and it was a trash, and this one should have been terrible and it blew up. Like even if you follow all the rules of everything you learn in your career, sometimes it just makes absolutely no sense.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I think what I've learned, it's connections. If you interact, or I should say interactions.
Yes.
If you interact with people,
Like
more,
comments.
you will show up more in their feeds, right?
Yep, that's exactly it.
I could timeline it. I remember liking or commenting on something you guys did with Afghan Haze, or posted about Afghan Haze, and that may have been because it seemed like right after that, Brendan showed up, and then we had the conversation about the podcast. So
yep,
it was
that's exactly it. It's It's like there's like a couple of factors that influence it. So it's engagement, which is what you're talking about, like actually engaging with other accounts. Because every time you engage with someone and they respond, it actually brings them back into your feed network.
Yep.
And then the other thing is, and this sucks that it's become this way, but it actually like does change your how many people see your organic stuff when you advertise regularly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So actually spending like ad spend boosts your visibility, which is bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
It's like it's kind of like a pay to play type scenario.
It should be just as easy as like, oh, hey, my friend liked this, and then these people also liked it, so it just should be a chain, like, you know. But it
used to just be the fact that like if you followed a page and you regularly like their posts, they showed up in your feed. It was that simple, but it's not that simple now. And then the other thing is like content type, like variety of content type. Instagram specifically is shifting more and more towards videos. So if you do videos, it like rewards you for that basically, because they're trying to compete with TikTok, which is a shame because no one wanted Instagram to be a video platform. They wanted it to be an image platform.
Right.
Yep.
It's also a good way to like, you know, communicate with people. Sometimes some people don't have Facebook and they're not using Messenger, or they don't have Twitter, or they, you know, so it's like, it's also, you know, it's a good way to stay connected in ways, even though it's a pain in the ass, you know, you got to open up an app and talk to people, but like, if that's what you got to do, then that's what you got to do.
Well,
but
I wouldn't be friends if it wasn't for that.
I know. And not only that, but like, it takes, you know, not for nothing, it takes people that want to, you know, do that, you know, like, let's engage and talk and do stuff. Like, let's chat up your band about posts that you made, you know, like you want to be in the community, you got to be part of it too, you know?
Yep. I mean, we might not be here right now without Instagram.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
What connected us. So.
Right. Or just in general, right? Social media. And, you know, I know I'm the one who, like, I'm not good at it. I'm the least good at it out of all the people who are, you know, in this conversation. But it also did make it seem like, you know, going from 2007 when the band started, when it was like, you know, I don't know, how would you even go about like letting people know that you have a show, you know, before social media was like, you got to tell people, you got to put out flyers everywhere. You got social media did help a lot with that.
So street teams
creating, street
teams. Yeah, I remember putting out flyers for bands and doing zines and like
we forget, but that's how it was back then. You know, it's not, you know, social media did help with that. I feel like a lot because the reach is further.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
And less work.
We had MySpace.
More reach, less work. I like that.
Right.
Relatively less work.
That's awesome. So, you guys mentioned some tour dates.
Yeah.
What you got coming up?
I'll get the board.
we have a master list. But
Nice.
so our first thing that we got going on, anyways, this year is a more of a local show, playing with some Nuri in Hamden at the Cellar. Sam
The
Nuri is a
Cellar,
really
yep.
cool band that I discovered not too long ago. They played at another place here in Connecticut, Cherry Street Station.
Yeah, I love that spot.
Yeah, they just blew me away when I saw them. So I was very excited to be able to get that gig with them.
Nice. How'd that pop up? Did you reach out to them or?
The promoter of the venue reached out to me and just asked what our plans were and gave me a few dates and mentioned that Sam Nuri might be, on one of those dates. And I said, well, hey, if you get them, we'll definitely be interested in doing it. So, because, we've been trying to like lay low and just record and get the album done first,
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, and then so after that, we got the Doom Fest in the end of June.
Hell yeah.
And then
Yeah, can't wait.
we just got a whole like July is going to be really busy for us. We just got a whole bunch of stuff we're doing in July, and then into August, and we got a show already booked for the end of September. So like we're just kind of like getting it all in there,
And we're
Hell
kind of
yeah.
Nice.
spacing out the local stuff though this year. So because last year or so we kind of like just focused more on local shows.
Yeah, I mentioned Cherry Street. I mean, that's like our hometown. That's
Yeah.
home base.
Yeah.
Cherry Street probably collectively hundreds of
Yeah,
times
I don't-
in so many different bands.
a lot of
It's-
times.
But it's home.
But yeah, we'll be hitting up Maine, New York, Vermont, Massachusetts,
Nice.
Pennsylvania.
yeah, Pennsylvania,
Maryland.
Maryland. So we're getting all the spots,
Hell yeah. Where in Vermont are you guys going?
So we haven't nailed down a venue actually for that date, but it's going to be on the same run that we're actually playing in Maine at the Herd Flock, which is like a festival they have out there in the woods. We've played
yeah.
before, which is really fun. So yeah, I'm trying to get a spot, hopefully maybe somewhere in Brattleboro is the plan. So
Fuck yeah. That's my hometown.
oh yeah.
All right.
So
Yeah.
if you have any connections in that town, let me know.
I don't, as far as music wise goes, I don't really know.
We'd love to play at the Stone Church. That place is
That's what I was about to say, is like the Stone Church is the place to go. That's the spot.
right.
Caven's actually playing there, or just played there. They're coming up soon. And then there's some pretty cool bands out that way. Barishi's from Vermont.
Yeah, they are cool. I like them.
Yeah. I actually last time they played live that I saw was at Cherry Street.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
Oh, okay, yeah. I think
Yeah, it's
Barishi
fun. Yeah.
actually
Come
on
to
the-
Grief was there. That was a good night. That was an awesome night.
What was the other band you just mentioned?
Come to Grief.
Oh, Come to Grief. Yeah.
Yeah, they were there that night.
We played with them at the I Hate God
I Hate God
show. Yeah.
The Squealer.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was us, the Squealer Grind, Come to Grief, and I Hate God. That was pretty awesome.
Infinity.
Where was that one?
And too. That was at Cherry Street also.
Cherry Street.
Oh, hell yeah.
Awesome.
that was one of the bigger shows lately.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we played. Yeah.
Nice.
Did we say that?
Oh, Bat was
Yeah.
right. Yeah, there was a lot of
That's
shows.
definitely sick.
Yeah.
6 bands.
Yeah, the Doomfest will be awesome for you guys.
Yeah, this will be our third time playing it, so we're psyched to be coming back to it.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, it's always a big lineup. There's a couple of other bands. I want to say I think Minerva's playing there. I could be wrong on that. I met them at the New England Stoner Doom Fest over at where was that? It just closed down.
I want to say Altones, but it changed its name to something else. What was it after Altones?
Yeah, it was Altones, I think. There's like a little like pub right in front of it, and then you go like behind that little like alleyway.
Doom and Brews or something? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dwayne, he puts that on, or was putting that on. Yeah, he does a lot of good work.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, it's wild. Like, well, what's your favorite spot besides Cherry Street Station? Where's your other favorite spot to go play?
I don't know. I mean, I'll say like I don't know about favorite overall, but we had a really great time in Harrisburg a couple Halloweens ago. We played like it was like Mischief Night, I think, that we played there, and it was just the venue was cool. We had a good night, good show, or whatever.
JB Love Draft.
Yeah. And but like the whole streets like that night were like totally crazy, like just full of people like having a good time. It was a good time.
Yeah, we had to double park in the middle of the road while this street is full of people trying to get our equipment through the crowd, and it was
luckily no one tried to steal our gear,
but
we were okay.
We were having like a bar crawl costume contest.
Yep.
Just random people with crazy costumes kept coming into the show and leaving. in and out.
They just have a shot and go to the next bar. Yep.
Yeah.
People were like twerking in the middle of the road.
All that.
Awesome.
It was a wild night.
Have you guys played at the VRSA?
We haven't played there yet. I have been there for a few shows. I have talked to the guy that books the shows there, and we are interested in doing that. So it'll definitely happen.
Nice. Yeah, I just saw All Out War there not too long ago.
Cool. Yeah.
That was a good night, good time. Yeah, it's a cool spot.
Yeah, I like how it's progressed. It's like, started off just on the floor, and now they got it all kind of like with a stage and everything nice there. So
Yeah.
starting to be
I haven't seen a stage yet. Anytime I've been there, I mean, that was like I wouldn't say like last month I was there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's like a permanent stage, but it's like they make it with like pallets and stuff, I think.
Gotcha. Yeah. They might not. I mean, those things come and go. They're a brewery,
Right.
So, yeah, that's cool. I mean, it also is like with a hardcore show. Like, I mean, like those guys were just like out in the middle of the floor with everybody else. So,
Sure.
That's fun.
Yeah.
But besides like Beerix and stuff, speaking of beer, you guys, what's your favorite breweries around town?
Nebco, New England Brewery, has definitely been a long time favorite, but
That's like the standard.
yeah,
right?
I mean, Counterweight is actually awesome, really, really good too. So
Yeah.
Sea Hag is my go-to beer for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a long time I had Sea Hag in the fridge for a while.
yeah, I like Supernaut. That's my favorite one from them.
Yeah, Supernut's good. I like they did this one. I don't know if they still do. I haven't been there in a while. But it was called Spin Cycle, and
I think they change it up every once in a while, right?
Yeah, so they use the same base malt, I believe, and then they switch up all the like the hops and that nature of the stuff. So yeah, it's good. It's cool.
Yeah, we're pretty big fans of beer.
I mean, I don't drink.
Well, that's okay. What's your favorite like what you eat?
Do you eat?
Yeah.
He probably does. He probably does.
I just
Who
smoke
knows
pot,
what's
that's
happening?
it.
With,
But you guys eat.
Yeah, no,
you guys eat. No, what I'm saying is, what's your favorite place to eat around New Haven?
I love going to Long Wharf for the tacos.
Yeah, okay. Is that a truck or a restaurant?
Well, yeah, there's like a huge selection of different food trucks down there. Like, I don't know if you've ever driven down 95 towards headed towards New York or whatever. There's like all those food trucks by the river right there.
Yeah, the little gastro park.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's awesome.
I haven't been by that way. There's one near me. I want to say it's in West Hartford. That's pretty cool. They have a bunch of stuff, rotating trucks all the time.
Yeah.
and we got to shout out our staple here in Meriden. We've had the same spot for practice since the band's inception, or if is that the right word, but and right across the street there's a nice little pizza spot, Uptown Pizza in Meriden.
All right,
solid. Anything you get from there,
years. Yeah,
fucking consistently solid. So that's my shout out.
Are they doing like that New Haven style pizza, or are they like?
Not really. No, it's
no. Oh.
It's not. Yeah, I can't say it's not New Haven because it's not like the charred bits on it. You know what I mean?
It's more
Okay,
like
yeah,
a
okay, all
small
right.
Connecticut pizza, but
Yeah,
it's just
it's good though.
yeah.
Hell yeah. No, that's great. I mean, I know, everybody talks about like, the big, like, Pepe's and all that, like a pizza
Right.
and all that. But there's a bunch of other spots that do it just as good, and they don't have all the I don't know what they're underrated. And
Right. Yeah, there's a place here in Meriden called Little Rendezvous that like it's been around forever, and people like line up to get their pizza, and you have to call and way in advance to order and shit. But in my mind, this place, Uptown Pizza, nails it just as good as they do, and people don't really know it as well.
Plus, it's across the street. That helps.
Yeah.
And so, Josh, what's that burger? I always forget the steam burger. There's like a steam burger place in there.
Ted's Steam Cheeseburgers are down there.
Ted's, yeah. What was the I always confused them and the other place that was like the first place that made a hamburger, and that was from Connecticut.
Louis Lunch in New Haven.
Louis, yeah. That was the first hamburger ever.
That's what they claim.
Yep. Ever. So we got them to thank. Louis Lunch, right? That's it.
Yep. Yeah, it's an interesting burger too, because it's like you can't really. They like have like no ketchup signs up there, and like you have to just get it like simple with cheese on toast. It's not like bread. Not like a bun. It's just toast.
Yeah.
But it's a high quality beef because like that's all you're pretty much tasting is the beef, and
right.
It tastes great. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a patty melt without being a patty melt.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's good. Good shit.
I know everyone's got to eat, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't drink beer, then
You
at
have to
least
eat.
Herbal diet.
Brendan, do you have any more state-based questions?
Well, we got venues. We did that. Yeah, we're good.
All right.
So I'll ask you guys then. I know Brendan has a bunch of those questions lined up, so I was going to let him get those out of the way. But what have you guys been listening to so far this year? Has anything kind of stood out to you?
Yeah. Well, I guess this year kind of not really so far yet.
Okay. Well, what about last year?
Listen to.
Well, yeah. So right, but so it'd be more like last year. Last year, I got really turned on to Turnstile. Their
Okay, yeah.
Go On album. That was really cool. And then we mentioned the new Cave-In album.
Yeah.
That's really great.
Nice.
Also, Josh got me to listen to Elder's last album. I thought was really, really good. Very
good.
Aggressive sounding.
Yes.
Very good. Beautiful
Yeah.
album.
Sounded more progressive.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
It didn't sound like the one before it that they released. I felt was like, I hate to say it, but it kind of reminded me of like Third Eye Blind or something.
Oh shit!
Oh, the one.
Oh,
before.
that's rough. That's pretty harsh.
They went.
I mean, I didn't.
And that band, everything they've done is amazing. They do really good work, man. But I felt like that. I don't know. That's just an opinion, and that's it.
Everyone's entitled.
Yep.
And then it's probably not last year, but I did really like whatever the latest Mastodon album was, Harsh and Grim, and the first that it was really good. The second part hit or miss, but the first 5 or 6 songs in that album are just amazing.
Let me have a look. I want to see if I listened to that one or not.
It's good. It is good.
It's called.
Some people, I
Hush
think,
and
were
Grim.
kind of hating on it.
Yeah, no, you're right. I did listen to that one. That one was good, and you're right. The first half is definitely stronger than the second.
Yeah, I think that was why people were hating on it, because they were like, "What? I don't know."
I mean, it was a 15-track album with like an hour and a half of playtime. It's not all going to be.
Of course.
They just had the extra time on their hands with being locked down with COVID.
Right. So they just churned out some extra stuff that they were kind of having fun with.
I mean, that's kind of how a lot of stuff happens, like when you have all that free time and you're able to just be creative and do what you want and everything's taken care of. Like, look how much stuff came out of that.
Yeah. I started a new band during that time period.
Yeah. We started all this stuff too, it's crazy.
Cool.
Lockdown made everyone pretty productive.
Mm-hmm. It was either that or like, I don't know, like you can only do so much, watch so much TV, and like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
I have seen all of Netflix.
Yeah.
right.
You
Like,
can only make so many puzzles, you know.
Yeah,
yeah, or like places like it's just wild. Yeah, exactly. Like you gotta like do something. So it's like that's what people do. They like if they get bored, they create.
exactly. That's what we say this all the time on the podcast, but it's like kind of the golden age of underground music since COVID happened. There's just so much quality stuff that came out, and it's just continuing to come out. And like every year, it's just like, oh, that's probably going to slow down. It hasn't slowed down.
No,
Yeah.
Before COVID, all I heard was rock was dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
Always saying that.
Then it kind of died.
We're starting to defy that.
I think so. I think like I think it's going to make a comeback as well with like more popular media stuff because I definitely think that like trends are cyclical, and I think that I don't think hip hop's going away, but I don't think that hip hop's going to be the dominant mainstream genre forever. Because if you look at the history of music, it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, right.
yeah, and live music will always fill a niche, like even hip hop, like they're playing live like massive shows, so it's it's just a different genre, but it's still live. And then metal and rock and whatever can always come back to popularity. So
Exactly, and it's like grunge kind of brought like an end to the hair metal thing in the 90s, and then it shifted from that to like pop punk, and then pop punk became more like indie stuff, and then it became hip hop. It just constantly shifts and changes.
Yep.
the only stuff that I'm not biggest fan of when I look at like like a top 10 list of the albums of the year or something, and it's all like a lot of that folky singer-songwriter stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of done with it personally.
Yeah, I've heard it referred to as stomp clap music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's
Stomp
stuff.
clap.
Yeah, it's like
Stomp,
what
clap,
is it?
shout, yeah.
I liked it when it was White Stripes, maybe the early stuff, but
Yeah,
for a while it's like all right,
not
moving
like
on.
the like that Mumford and Sons sound. I can't stand that. I can't stand that band, dude. I hate that band so much. It's so boring.
It's so yeah.
It's so boring. It's like
Boring's the nicest thing you've said about it.
it's true.
Sorry guys, I brought negativity to the podcast.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. As long as it's directed toward Mumford and Sons, okay. If it stays in that realm.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're kind of coming up on the time here. So I do have a question for you guys. You can each answer if you want to. You don't all have to. It's up to you. If you were stuck on a desert island and you could each only have 3 CDs to listen to, what would those? Oh, well, actually, I'll rephrase that slightly. If you're stuck on a desert island with a solar-powered Discman, so in this case, it won't run out of battery, and you had 3 CDs to listen to, what would those 3 CDs be?
I would definitely bring a Dax Riggs album.
Nice.
Probably a Mastodon album. Do I have to be that specific on which album?
No, you don't have to. You can leave it that vague if you want to.
And then
You'll be able to pick right as if your plane is about to leave. You're like, that's what do I pick?
yeah, I don't know. Those are the 2 ones that popped in my head right away. Well, how about you guys? Yeah, what do you guys?
Go ahead.
You get one more if you want.
He's trying to think.
I wonder if we all agree on Mastodon.
Yeah, we probably would all agree on Mastodon.
At least one Mastodon.
We all need a
album
Mastodon.
Okay.
You could probably get all of them between you. Well, not all.
Yeah. Each choose one Mastodon CD. There you go.
We're not that big of a Mastodon fan. I would say the Queens of the Stone Age songs for the deaf for sure. It would be one of them.
Classic.
Yeah, no, I don't know. That's it. That's
maybe Siamese Dream. Maybe I would take.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Right.
Good album.
Yeah, I didn't chime in much when we were talking about music earlier because I listen to more hip hop and rap, dance and EDM and stuff like that. I mean, I come metal my whole life, and I've just delved into that. For
no
the past
Metallica albums there anywhere.
Well, what I was gonna say was Mastodon, and then probably in that hip hop type genre, Audrey Nuna is my favorite artist.
Okay.
which
Listen,
probably nobody knows.
I don't.
And then thirdly, I would probably take everything Cliff Burton ever played because
Nice.
he made me want to play bass back in the 80s. So
That's awesome.
Nice. Metallica stuff.
yeah.
Also, just to clarify from my comments before, I wasn't like shitting on hip hop. I'm just talking about like
Oh, no,
music
I didn't
trends.
say that way at all.
Yeah,
Cool.
we
Okay,
listen
good.
to a
Well,
lot
I
of weird
listen
stuff,
to-
man.
We listen to a lot of like Ben and I both listen to like a lot of different stuff. So we're not those like
I love,
metal or dire guys.
Guys, we already
Like a lot of,
agreed.
like-
Mumford and Sons. That's
Yes.
the hate band, right? So-
Exactly. That's where
Right,
all
right.
the hate is directed towards.
Yeah.
And that
I love,
song "Dance Monkey." That is like my least favorite song in the history of
Actually, I like
music.
that song.
Oh, my
Really,
God.
I can't do it, dude. I can't do her voice. It just grates on me.
That's what kind of I was surprised about. Maybe it's because I was surprised by it. That's why I like it. If something throws me for a second, I usually develop a liking for it eventually. You know.
Interesting. Okay.
You know, I kind of hear that. Sometimes you're like, why is that so weird and odd? Like, but it's not terrible, right? So then
Right.
you're like, well, I'll give it another try. And then you're like,
Yeah.
Actually, when I don't like something, I have to listen to it again because I feel like it's probably good. That's why I don't like it.
Yeah. It's challenging. Yeah.
I only listen to trash.
right. Well, I was gonna say too, like on the hip hop front and stuff, like I loved like the 2000s, like up to like maybe like 2015-ish, like 90s to that 2015, you know, that hip hop era of like, you know, like Definitive Jux and stuff.
What's the album? Cannibal Ox. I really like from that era.
Yeah. Cannibal
Yeah.
Ox, like Aesop Rock, or like, you know, there was just so many. Oh man,
I know the exact
blanking
stuff
on
you're
a few
talking
of the
about,
names
yeah.
right now, but like there was so many cool, like there was some good stuff, man.
When I listen to it, I hear the rock.
Mr. List, that was a big one.
I hear all the same types of beats and transitions and dynamics that I find in rock and metal all the same. Might sound
Right.
different, but it's the way they build their songs are very similar.
Yeah, you
Yep.
know who was really good at that was the Living Legends.
I don't think
They're
I've
out of
heard-
California.
Okay.
If you're not familiar, check them out. Awesome stuff. The Grouch was a big one. Eli and the Grouch.
For me, I'm all about boom bap.
heard it.
That's my jam.
I went to Rock the Bells, and Eli and Grouch, I think, were one of the opening acts there. So
If I reach for metal, I'll usually go somewhere local. So Afghan Haze, Como,
Nice.
Grizzlor.
Actually,
Yeah, right.
you're
North Star, The Wanderer.
Most
Yeah.
of the live shows that I've seen in the
Infinity
last few
Land.
years
Yeah.
are local bands, really, when you think about it.
Most of the
Yeah.
metal I listen to are
Yeah.
local
Yeah.
bands.
Yeah, buddy.
That's awesome.
I
So-
hear that though. It's all about like the local stuff. Like I love that. Like that's in our area. You're like, wow, they're doing that. Cool. They're our neighbors. Might as well shake hands and say what's up, you know?
Exactly.
And I do similar to what you were saying. I go, I take pictures, I shoot videos,
Mhm.
that stuff helps.
More social media.
Yeah, man.
I'm
And
always
not-
wishing for me in the crowd while we play.
Yeah,
I can't do
And
both
there are
jobs.
sometimes there are people
Sometimes
who
there
do
is.
take photos.
Right. And
Awesome.
like for me, I like to have it recorded. I'm like, I want to just listen to this later. And I'd rather not get like a 30-second clip. I'd rather like catch a whole song or half a set, you know? And like, so I'll Instagram live it because I found that like it stores it all up in the cloud and doesn't eat up all my phone storage. So I'll do that. And then I'm like half those Instagram posts of bands, like that's for me. I don't give a shit if you like it or not. Like I want to listen to it later.
I'm the opposite because like I take the photo. I don't take photos. I just take videos, but I do like 40 segments of like the best songs, and then I post it because I want like people on my friends list to see the band and be like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. I'll check them out, type thing. So I think it's a good way to like kind of like showcase bands that deserve support.
Yeah.
Of course.
But I agree. Like I understand why some bands like, dude, people are on their phones the whole time. Like I don't know why you would go to a show and
it's
spend your
bullshit.
entire, because you see those people that are like filming the whole show. I'm like, dude, you didn't even catch any of it. So
That
like,
is the hard part, right? The balance between experiencing and enjoying the show and capturing the show. It's two different things.
exactly.
Right.
because I'll hold my phone out and headbang through the whole show and like not even look at my phone. Every once in a while, as my head's coming up, I'll get a peep, be like, all right, I'm still in frame. I'm good.
Okay, so you don't actually look at the big screen. That's good.
kind of like what I do. Yeah, I'll
That's
try
good.
and like,
'Cause
or
I do
I'll just like
enjoy it,
post
you
up
know?
shop next to like something and just like hold it still, and then I can like just watch them, and like the phone's just still, you know.
Yeah.
I normally do like 40-second clips of like maybe 4 different songs per band, and then the rest of the time I'm like just watching the show, and then I'll just pick which ones I like the most and post those at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Well, you're better than me, James.
It's not about that, Brendan. It's not a
No, no.
competition.
Just kidding. Yeah, I hear that though. But for me, like, I want to, like, I'll pop on my videos and like listen to them all through, you know, and it's awesome. I'm like, sweet.
But
That was
I mean,
a great
like,
time.
then you get those old dudes that came up like you've been playing music since like the 80s, and they obviously it was like a different time before phones existed and stuff, and they always like bitching on social media, like just like old man screams at cloud type thing. It's like, oh, just them
Yeah,
posting about like don't bring your phones out at my show and stuff. I'm like, dude, it's not the 80s anymore. It's like it's not gonna happen.
Right. But you know,
Right.
too, like
yeah, that-
Thao was like,
Later.
hey, like we played live shows, and then everybody's like, they're not staring at the phone, but they're not even like moving around. They're just staring at us like fucking sheep, you know. It's like, do something, move around, like let's go.
I sometimes have like mixed feelings on that though, because like sometimes if it's depending on the show, like I don't want to move around. I just want to enjoy the music, and then sometimes I do want to move around.
Right.
Yeah, personally, I'm not one to like dance around or nothing, but I do appreciate it when other people are.
Yeah.
I'm known
yeah.
to pop dance at metal shows. I don't care.
when I'm on stage playing, I don't even look.
I'll
at
do that with you. Let's go.
Alright.
We'll do the shopping cart. Let's go.
I don't even look at the crowd when I play when I'm on stage. But as long as they don't leave to like get a beer or smoke, like I'm good. Whatever. If they're standing around or dancing or mosh pitting, I don't care. Just as long as they're not leaving.
Yeah.
Right.
Hell yeah.
They paid money to be there. They're there listening to the music. It's all good.
Yep.
Anyway, we have just come up on time. So I have one more question for you guys. If people want to buy your music, listen to your music, or follow you on social media, where would they do that?
Yeah, we're on
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp would be
So
the main
number
one.
one.
Yeah, right. But we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Music, we're on Amazon, whatever, all
Pandora,
those. Yeah,
Deezer.
and then
all that.
the best way to find us is like Google VRSA band, because you're gonna get confused with the staph infection if you don't put the band part in there.
Instagram or Facebook.
yeah, we're on
That's
all
where
that
we're probably most active.
Yeah.
With social media.
for sure.
We don't have a TikTok yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gotta get
But then again,
content
I'm
creating.
not really
Gotta do some
for it
hip hop dances to our music and put them on TikTok, man. Is that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah.
I have a feeling we're gonna blow up soon.
Do the Macarena or something.
Yeah.
Gotta get featured in the next season of Stranger Things.
But yeah, find us, please.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Appreciate you guys taking the time. And obviously you have a new album coming out, so maybe after that releases, we can get you back on to talk about it.
Yeah, we would love to.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
This was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thanks.
Anytime.
Hell
And
yeah.
everyone at home listening, thank you so much for tuning in and coming back next week for another guest.